Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, kicking off a pick four at Saratoga with race number 8, the Grade 1 test. We're going 7/8 of a mile for 3-year-old fillies. This is the most prestigious race for 3-year-old filly sprinters all year long. It's one of 5 stakes races at Saratoga on Saturday. Get involved with a new DRF Bets account. All you have to do on sign up is type in the promo code HELLO. Let's meet the field of 3-year-old fillies getting set to go 7 furlongs in the test. And Mike, pace is going to make this race. You've got a speedster in Serengeti Empress cutting back in distance. You've got a speedster in Kofefi stretching out in distance. Tom Amoss has told our Dave Grenning he is going. He is not conceding no matter what. And I can't imagine Kofefi conceding either. We might have the old barbecue up front.
It does look like these two are just destined to hook up, doesn't it? I mean, you already know that Serengeti Empress is going, whether she had the rail or not, because we've seen enough of her at this stage of the game that we know if she doesn't make the lead, she's just not the same horse. And you saw it in the Acorn last time, the 1-turn mile when they cut her back. They took no prisoners up front. She went a wicked pace in there. And I know she was with a good rail, Dan, but she was flying, and she ran a very good second in that race, I thought. She's going. Kofefi is going. I think they are hooking up in this race, and we'll see who's still standing at the end.
I agree with you about Serengeti Empress's last race. I think a lot of folks are just going to look at it and say, well, she was on the gold rail and she was able to finish second because of that. A lot of things happened in that race to Serengeti Empress. First, she broke sideways from the inside post and had to really rush up to duel with a decent horse, Cookie Dough. Dusted Cookie Dough and was still there to hold off second, despite drifting a little bit off the rail. Listen, the horse that beat her, his Guarana, who is now the divisional leader. My question for you as we look at a Serengeti Empress formulator fact for Tom Amoss. Past 4 years, 3-year-olds, dirt, route to sprint, 45 to 60-day layups, 5 for 9, $2.37 ROI. Who do you think is naturally quicker out of the gate? Do you think it's Serengeti Empress or do you think it's Kofefi? Because I think it's safe to say right now Kofefi's a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, she is. That's true. Who's quicker out of the gate? I don't know. Maybe Kofefi's quicker from the gate. But you just know that Serengeti Empress is going to be on a hard send from the rail. You know, I personally think Serengeti Empress is the better horse of the two, and I understand that Kofefi still has a lot of upside. We don't really know how good she may turn out to be. I think Serengeti Empress is better of the two, and so I kind of trust her more. But boy, I wonder if just those two being in this race together makes them both vulnerable.
Timeform US believes Kofefi is faster, but it's a moot point if Jose Ortiz is all out intense from the inside post. If it runs to form, Kofefi gets the lead. Serengeti Empress maybe tries to get off the rail. I don't think it's going to happen that way. I think the 1 and the 3 hook up. Bellafina, I think you could argue, simply the best horse in this race at this distance. She was the best 3-year-old filly going into the Kentucky Oaks, and I don't think she was disgraced in the Kentucky Oaks. She got a little further back than usual in that race in between horses, and a 1 1/8 I just think is a little bit too far for her. I think her best performance was her seasonal debut, the Santa Ynez going 7 furlongs, where she just destroyed that field. I like that Simon Callahan has taken his time with her, freshened her up for this race. Can't she just sit in behind the 2 speeds and maybe be the best stalker?
Yeah, I mean, that's how I looked at it, too. It just feels like she just might be in a really good spot here, and that is all to go along with what you just said. She just might be the best horse in the race. I mean, you know, you can go back to her as a 2-year-old, and it felt like everybody had concerns about how far she wanted to go. You know, when you're at the top of your division, you have to run in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, and you have to run in the Kentucky Oaks. That's just the way it is. It didn't work out for her. She's better going shorter. I'm with you. I thought her seasonal debut was the best race she's ever run, and she might trip out in this race.
Speaking of tripping out, the 5 Royal Charlotte's probably heading for another good trip. She's a perfect 4 for 4 for Chad Brown. This is what's known as the acid test. She's really taking a step up in class, but she draws outside the other speeds and outside the other stalker. A clean trip should be coming for Javier. We'll find out if she's this good. She needs to improve, but she's so lightly raced, she can improve, and she was never losing the victory ride last time out. She looked like a winner every step.
Yeah, I like this horse. She's been really good in all of races, and you're right. Even her last 2 races, she was just dominant, winning both of those. Never really had to get down to serious business to win the victory ride. And yes, she's facing way tougher here, and they're going to be going way faster in front of her in this race. So she's going to have to work to keep up, and then she's going to have to try and run down some really good horses. Not going to be surprised she's up for it, Dan. This filly's good.
I wonder how good Trenchtown Cat is, and I have a feeling she's a bit of a sleeper in here at a big price. She's found her home sprinting on the dirt. She was the only 3-year-old filly in a field of older horses last time out in the Grade 2 Princess Rooney. That was at Gulfstream. She faced odds-on Gulfstream lover Stormy Embrace, and she made that horse sweat for the briefest of instants at the 3/16 pole. I think Trenchtown Cat is improving. The question is, has she ever seen this kind of gas before? Is she going to be outsprinted early?
Yeah, that's going to be a big question for a lot of these fillies, and I don't know how they're going to handle it. I do agree with you, though, that she's improving and she's probably underrated. This is just a really tough spot for her.
Please flatter me. The number 6 was no match for Covfefe. 2 starts back in the Miss Preakness when Covfefe freaked. It is interesting to note that was also Please Flatter Me's career best buyer. Does that make you question the fig for that race overall?
Yeah, the figure might be a little high for that race. We'll see. If it is high, it's not high by much. It's only maybe by a few points. This filly's fine. Please flatter me. No match for Covfefe in that race. I thought she ran okay last time. I didn't like the way she was drifting out at the end of that race. That's a bad sign for her. And it just feels like, especially with her running style, this is a bad spot.
That's a good point. She was 2-5 in that race, and she did have to duel with another horse early, but she's supposed to win that race, and she was wandering in the lane. She does like 7 furlongs. Geltrin won the Devona Dale at 51-1 earlier this year. The Kentucky Oaks didn't work out. The Acorn and the Mother Goose, they got some very valuable graded stakes placings. I couldn't find the excuse in the Mother Goose. She was sitting outside. The pace wasn't very fast. The runner-up, who was a big long shot, had the lead, and I was disappointed Geltrin couldn't get by her, not even get close to her.
Yeah, I mean, listen, she's just not that good, but they've done a good job with her to, get her a graded stakes win, to be grade 1 place now in her career. They're going to try and get something like that again, but I can't see her being a major factor in this race.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Grade 1 test. I want your opinion on Covfefe. Was that one race just an anomaly? She was very good in her career debut at Churchill Downs. She came up in the Frisette. She kind of bombed going a mile. I think the 7 is a big question mark for Covfefe, especially if she has to duel with Serengeti Empress early. Last time out in the Roxolana, she was odds on, the only 3-year-old in the field. You could argue that, yes, she set a pressured pace down towards the rail, but the horses that ran 2nd and 3rd outfinished her. They went right up close to the pace as well, and Covfefe was getting a little bit tired late. I'm going to be very curious to see what Joel Rosario does breaking out of the gate. I think he's just going guns blazing. I think he's going to hope Serengeti Empress maybe takes a misstep and goes to the front. I kind of think she's got a lot of talent, Mike. Maybe I'm way overestimating her chances.
Listen, I think she has a lot of talent, too, and she was razor sharp winning the Miss Preakness. Whether you think that figure's high or not, she was razor sharp that day. That was a really good performance. I think she's destined to hook up here, and she's the one going 7 for the first time against a bunch of quality fillies who have already been longer. I just think it's a really tough spot for her, but I was as taken with her Miss Preakness as everybody else was.
But for you, Bellafina has always been among the best in the division, and you've been waiting for this cutback.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love her in here, Dan. I just feel like this might be the best spot for her. She's going to be sitting behind a duel, it seems like, and that just might be exactly where you want to be. And I do like her sprinting. I went 2-5-1, but I don't love Bellafina. I just took her on top because I think she's maybe the most likely winner.
I like Covfefe, and if I wanted to use a long shot, maybe underneath, Trenchtown Cat's the kind of horse that if this pace is fast, maybe she picks up a few pieces late. But the test is going to be a war early, some really classy horses. You've got the Kentucky Oaks winner in Serengeti Empress, multiple Grade 1 winner in Bellafina, 107 buyer earner in Covfefe, undefeated Royal Charlotte. The beat goes on. It also kicks off a 50-cent pick 4, which you can bet with a DRF Bets account. All you must do is just type in the promo code HELLO, and now we'll say goodbye. The Grade 1 test has an approximate post time of 5:06 Eastern. Good luck.